Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown, and today is Training Tip Tuesday. I'm excited to be with you guys here today. And the horse that I'm riding right now is Duke. And remember, Duke is a 4-year-old paint horse that I've been training, and he's in his start of the third week. So he's the second day of the third week that I'm working with him. He's doing really well. The one thing that he's been struggling with some, as you could see when I had the video on him, he was weaving just a little bit back and forth. Now this morning I've had so many things go through my mind about what I want to talk about for Training Tip Tuesday, and I really have to isolate it to one thing. So I think what I'm going to talk about is going straight away from where he wants to be. So as horses, when horses are green and horses aren't used to being ridden, a lot of times, and pretty much 100% of the time, when you're riding away from, let's say, the stables, or riding away from your house, or riding away from other horses, or you're going through an area that your horse doesn't really feel comfortable going through, he's going to do a lot of weaving. And weaving is just moving right to left and not really wanting to go straight, not staying between your legs and your reins, but really veering off to the left and to the right as you go forward. So one of the things that I like to do, and I mentioned this last week, and that is perform the trot test, and I'm going to call it the trot straight test. So if a horse can trot straight and trot straight through an area where he doesn't like to be, or he didn't like to be initially, you know that horse is getting pretty comfortable with that area. So when you first start out, your horse is going to be weaving. Your horse may not even want to go forward at all, and so you're going to have to, even if your horse doesn't want to go forward at all and isn't moving forward, you might have to move his feet right to left on purpose. So you're actually weaving your horse on purpose. You're moving his feet to the right, you're moving his feet to the left and to the right and to the left, and you're just going back and forth. It's the same concept of trying to get them to cross water or cross a tarp or cross something that they don't want to walk across, and that is make it difficult to not go straight across it. So you make it difficult by moving his feet right to left, and people make the mistake of allowing the horse to stop moving his feet. Don't allow the horse to stop moving his feet. Keep moving his feet right to left until he decides to move forward. As soon as he moves forward, takes that step forward, or even hints at wanting to go forward, like he looks down, he starts to sniff forward, and then you're going to take away that pressure and let him relax for a second, and then move his feet again until he moves forward. Now once you get him going forward, and I just want to talk about that. It doesn't have much to do with the trot straight test, besides the fact that that's what you're going to have to go through initially before your horse really understands the concept of going forward and is able to listen to your cues. Now we're going past these steers here, and he's just a little bit nervous. I'm going to show you this steer. He's a little bit nervous about this steer. Now this is the second time that we've gone by a steer like this who's been so close. And the last time we were able to get him close enough for that steer to come up and actually stick his tongue out and touch him. So not too bad. He's doing pretty good. But again, back to the trot straight test. So once you get your horse moving forward, then you're going to find instances like right now going down this alley. This is what I call fear alley. You can find just about anything that would make your horse afraid, would scare your horse down this alley, and that's why I call it fear alley. And I love it. It's just real close to our place. It's literally like a 2-minute ride to get here, just behind our place. And there's even an alpaca right over here. Actually, yeah, I think that's an alpaca. See out there, alpaca. Now, an alpaca can, it might be a llama, but I think it's an alpaca. Alpacas are some of the scariest things, alpacas and llamas, that horses see, because they're just so odd looking to a horse. If a horse sees something they're not used to, just like if it's a steer, and Duke didn't like going past that steer because he hadn't really seen steers before apparently, or hadn't been around them much, any kind of cattle. So anything they're not used to, it could be sheep, it could be goats, it could be llamas, but there are a lot of things down Fear Alley that Duke and a lot of other horses are afraid of. and it's important to get them used to that as you're going forward. But once they start to get comfortable with going past some of those things, then you start pushing them faster and get them to actually trot. And once they start trotting, a lot of times they're going to weave back and forth. They're not going to want to go forward. They're going to keep stopping. They're not going to be consistently trotting. But what you do is you just keep putting pressure on them until they trot, and then take the pressure off. And as long as they're trotting, you take the pressure off and let them go. But you try to keep them in a straight line by putting pressure with your leg, your outside leg, if they're moving to that outside, or the inside rein, or even if they're neck reining, you can use that outside rein as well. But you just try to keep them straight and try to keep them going at a trot. And once they can go through an area like here, like Fear Alley, once they can go through that area away from home at a trot, in a straight trot, then you're getting really close to that horse being very well trained. And that's just one of the tests that I use to see how good my horse is doing. I hope that tip and a few of the other things I talked about today gives you guys some assistance in your training your horses and helping your horses become safer on the trail and safer in your partnership, and so that you have a more fun-filled partnership with your horse, and definitely a safer partnership with your horse. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to always be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.